Welcome to the Boomer Briefing. I'm Jim Boomer, CEO of Boomer Consulting. I'm joined by Marc Staut, our Chief Innovation and Technology Officer. And we're here at the Accounting Innovation Center, right in the middle of facilitating the Boomer Technology Circles. So we've had two groups in over the last 2 days, and today is day one with the second group. So we wanted to just spend a little time and talk about what are the big topics, what's happening within these circles. And so, Marc, why don't you kick us off? I think beyond you sharing what's in your bag and giving everybody the quote Christmas shopping list to go on Amazon and spend some money. What do you think were kind of the big discussion points or focal points in the tech circle?
Yeah, I think we've had some really great conversations. I mean, one of the things that is unique about these technology circles, it's not just operational technology, but it's also strategic tech leaders and it's business leaders that come together. So when we have some of these conversations, it's fairly wide ranging and we cover a lot of different really interesting topics. I mean, I think you can't really have one of these without security coming up. Because it's an ever-changing, constantly adapting and evolving kind of landscape. And frankly, it used to be that, security was what kept the tech people up at night, and now it's keeping the business leaders up at night just as much. So it is always top of mind. So hearing what firms are doing, the one that stood out to me that we were talking about earlier was around identity validation, and how do you know that it's your tech team that's calling you, or is it somebody else? Right? I mean, we've got all these great uses for AI and automation, but there's a little bit of the bad guys have that same tool set. So how are we starting to build that out? And that was a really fascinating conversation.
Yeah. Well, and it's probably no shock that we talked a lot about AI and AI use cases, but I want to tie it back to the security piece, because that's a big part of the discussion now, not just from a security where your data is going, but also internally of what's your data infrastructure, and a lot of focus on the need to get to least rights. Because you build an AI tool that can scour all this data, you got to make sure that only the people that should have access to certain data can scour that data with the tool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And vice versa. The people that need it need to be able to get to it. So, that was a big part of it.
Yeah, we've been talking about least rights for a long time. And kept saying that, this is, we're going to need to really grasp this and get ahead of it. And that time has come. So firms need to prioritize that for sure.
And, we have the benefit of sitting in several different types of circles. And there's some general themes. AI is one of them, but the other one, and it came up quite a bit here, is just new applications coming into the market in certain categories. I'd say where there's the most interest among firms across our profession is in the practice management space, and 100%. Also in the audit platform and methodology is the other place. And a quick plug, we are launching an audit leader circle as well as a tax leader circle in 2026. But there was a lot of discussion about that. And again, bringing in practical insights of people who were either in the midst of selection or had made their selection, and giving those insights of what they liked about a particular solution, what set it apart, what were maybe and continue to be some of the challenges. Hearing that firsthand it makes a big difference and accelerates people's progress.
100%. For a long time we were saying, boy, we wish there was more innovation in the profession. People are now asking for it to slow down because it's happening so fast. There are so many apps. And this is where having a peer community can really help out, because you can talk to people, hear what it is they're doing, what the lessons learned are. Don't make the same mistakes I made. Do this, don't do that. I mean, it's really insightful to have some of those conversations.
And in fact, with all the the apps, and we just have so many tools, that's another topic we're going to dig in here over the next day and a half with these groups, is vendor management. And not just from a logistical administrative of keeping track of licenses and what you have, but how do you really get the most out of the relationships with those and turn it into a true strategic partnership? And we've been talking about this for years. To get the most out of any tool, you need to really treat it like a relationship.
Yep, 100%.
Lots of new solution shopping going on right now.
Yep.
And as I mentioned in the beginning, in the groups that just left here, I'm sure there's a lot of Amazon shopping going on with everything you shared. And that'll happen again here this morning with the groups we have coming in. So
the gadgets and gizmos are a fun part, and that appeals to everybody in the room.
Yeah.
I think everybody raised their hand and said they've got something off of Amazon or had something to research. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. You even made me spend some money. So, well, I want to say thank you so much for listening. Hopefully we gave you a little insight into what's being discussed in our boomer circles and what happens there. But it's really about bringing together firm leaders, to hear the major trends, but to also learn from each other's experience is a key part of it, and to build relationships. So, if you liked what you heard, go ahead and subscribe to the Boomer Briefing podcast. If we piqued your interest and you want to learn a little more about what we do at these boomer circles, visit boomer.com, and we have a form you can fill out, and we'll set up a time to talk. We'd love to talk to you. So thanks so much for listening.